Alright guys, ready for another chess short. This one's been sent in by Yorkie Chess 95 and it's a 5-minute blitz game, and Yorkie Chess is rated 1508, which is where I really want to get to in blitz as well. And their opponent is Biscuit 07 rated 1599, so let's go. I have no idea what we're going to expect. Okay, this is this the Barnes opening or something like that? It's the King's Fianchetto. Anyway, I face this every now and again. Okay, so e5, very natural, control the centre, bishop Fianchettos and knight f6. Alright, so developing a piece early on rather than going for the immediate d5, which is attacked but also defended by the queen. Immediate tension in the centre with d4. Now here you don't really want to take, because that invites white's queen out into the board, so that's free development, right? So you use your move, just capturing a pawn with no development, and then white recaptures with development. So I can't even see what the moves are here. So, I mean, I don't know. He could actually push on. Do you need to defend the pawn? Queen could defend, bishop could defend, but that's ugly. Okay, we push on. e4. That's good because it also prevents the knight from coming to this square, which it often wants to do in order to allow the king to castle. So that's a decent move. And now d5. White follows suit, pushing the central pawn right through. Now what do we do? Probably want to get this bishop out so that you can push d6 to allow this bishop out, is what I would imagine. Got chicken invading the house. But no, c6, contesting the central pawn. Okay, takes and takes back with a knight. Interesting. So we've got two pawn islands. That's one and this is another. But black has a lead in development, so quite happy with this. And both players have spent 9 seconds, it seems, so far. Okay, knight c3, bishop out, pins the knight against the king, so the knight now can't move, and black is ready to castle, so this is looking good. Attempt to kick the bishop. Very often I'll just drop back here and try and prompt my opponent to make a double pawn push. Okay, but we have take, because yeah, so here we double the pawns and give white 3 pawn islands, right? Like that. So takes here, and now d5. d5 occupying the centre, this is good. Bishop comes out. White's looking very passive here. Look at the space advantage that black has. Complete central control with both knights on their natural squares, controlling all the central squares. This is a very, very nice position to be in. Okay, black castles. e3. Okay, this allows the queen to come out into the board, but she can't come here or here or here. So it gives the queen one more square on e2. Now what would I be doing here? I mean, it's tempting to push this. Bishop 8 g4, hit the queen, which would mean the queen either has to move somewhere she probably don't want to go. She can't go there or there. So the queen's actually only got 3 squares. Or knight blocks. So we've got bishop here, knight blocks. It allows white to castle, which is not really what you want to do. At the same time, you want to bring your bishop into the game. Even something like bishop here might be an idea. Just defending this pawn again here. Queen b6 hits this. Okay, we have bishop attacking the queen. Knight comes to e2, defending. And now white is ready to castle. I mean, natural moves are queen here, getting the queen on the diagonal of where the king's going to end up, because the king definitely ain't going this way, right? And centralizing the king's rook, so rook e8 and then this rook over to d8 makes a lot of sense. Queen d7, okay, so backing up this bishop one more time. It's the idea to come in here and try and contest the Fianchetto bishop, right, thereby leaving the light squares weak. Everyone's playing very quickly here. Alright, so now we push. Now this isn't possible because there are now 2 defenders of this square. But it has provoked a weakness in white's camp. I'd be tempted to play bishop f3 here, maintain the pin on the knight, attack this guy, and if bishop takes, you've got pawn takes, but you've got to worry for white's castling options now. But then we probably just drop this pawn at some point. If there, bishop takes, pawn takes, hit the knight, knight moves like here. We don't want to take because it undoubles his pawns. No, I don't know. Okay, but Yorkie does it. Takes, takes. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm imagining this with a discovered attack by the queen on the pawn. But again, white still can't castle because now we've got queen takes h3 with check. Knight just retreats. Okay, now we can protect the pawn with knight e5, which is not bad because there's no d-pawn, so it's almost like an outpost, although it's not defended on that square. And the f-pawn can't progress because of the pawn in the way. So having said that, oh yeah, with the knight coming around here, it's a second attacker on there. So perhaps what we should be doing is saying, okay, forget about that pawn. Eddie, thank you for your service. You've given your life for the cause. I'm going to centralise a rook. That's probably what I'd do. Okay, Yorkie plays the knight in to defend, but it's attacked twice. Material is equal. I'd probably just allow white to take the pawn and leave a big hole. Having said that, it does kind of improve the knight, but now what are you going to do? Now rook e8 or instigate the trade? You probably don't want to instigate the trade. Okay, instigated the trade. All right. Now white is actually a pawn up. So I don't quite buy that thing. It still can't castle because there's still this threat queen h3 check. Oh, that's a nice move. Me like it this a move. Me like it this a move. Right? This is now solid center, defended by a pawn. If castles now, we've got knight here hitting both rook and queen, for example, as well as this, for good measure. So we do have the initiative. Now, what you've got to worry about is probably this c-pawn opening up this bishop, because this bishop right now is completely boxed in, but it's not hard for that c-pawn to move, contest the central pawn that defends the knight, etc., etc. So still, for me, I'd be inclined to centralise both rooks. Okay, so white brings a rook over, not really attacking that, but this is the threat, is c4. Pawn can't take because queen falls. Okay, so the queen now pivots round, still defending this pawn from the rook. Okay, good ideas. And also attacking the queen, the bishop here, which is undefended. There's a chicken in my office. Okay, bishop moves out of the way. I'd be very tempted to stick my queen on there. You go away. No, go away. Go on, out, out. No, out. Oh, apologies. Yeah. So queen here just locks off this pawn, right? Which means this bishop is trapped in the corner. And again, still you want to bring your rooks into the game. Okay, here comes a rook. Hooray! Rook a d8. Queen comes back now. White wants to trade off queens, thinking he can rely on his one pawn advantage in the endgame. If takes, king takes. We can't take there with check, and we can't take there with check. They're both defended. So what do? We can't defend the queen with the pawn. That would be very bad. What's undefended on the board? Just that. Maybe queen here. Okay, queen drops down c6. Queen comes in. Now it's not threatening the knight, but she's not really threatening the pawn because rook is the first capturer, so that's not really a problem. I think rook fe8 makes sense. Maybe even this, with ideas of attacking that pawn. Rook fe8, good. And castles, haha! Right, now we're going to be eyeing up this weakened pawn on h3. Got 2 attackers on this, but 2 defenders. Okay, queen drops back down to c8, now lying up h3, makes sense. King moves forwards. Right. Now, what seems most natural to me right now would be a rook lift. You want to keep this rook here to defend this pawn, but I'm thinking rook e6. No, knight pivots round. Okay, yeah. Second attacker on here. Might then provoke h4. Okay, rook comes across as the second defender. Both players still have 3 minutes on the clock. Right, we're deep into the middle game. All right. Knight comes back. Queen comes forward, eyeing up the a7 pawn. So here I'll probably just push b6 to defend it. It also means that we're covering more dark squares. So moving a pawn from a light square to a dark square means that there's 2 squares that this guy can't land on. Oh, no, but black has other ideas. Black says, aha, tell you what, you can keep the pawn, greedy guts, because if you do that, I'm coming in, queen takes f2, check, mate. So that is not possible. Now the rook can't defend because knight takes. This rook can't do anything. Well, it could do anything. It could go there and give the king a1, but h1. Okay, pawn pushes now. I see there's a theme here of provoking undesirable pawn moves on your opponent's part. But what do we do now? Okay, pawn is attacking the knight. Queen is also attacking a7. Do we have... I mean, there's a sack idea there, but if king takes, can't see... No, there's too many potential defenders around. What would I do? 2 minutes 16 on the clock. Also, actually, if this knight moves, the queen's also looking at c2 with check. That's undefended. But then rook here. Queen has to come back out. I don't know. Surprise me. Oh, okay, yes, very good move. Right, gets it out of trouble, and with now threatening queen here. So again, you're welcome to the pawn. Please take it, it's yours. Okay, now both rooks are defending both of these pawns that are attacked by the knight. So is it now time for b6? Or do we carry on our attacking ideas with this? Okay, takes pawn. Okay, material is now equalized. Equalized. Yeah, rook up, hits queen. Queen comes back. Nice. Notice this pawn's defended only by the queen, and it is attacked by a rook. White pushes. Now here we can take with an attack on the queen, so probably queen recaptures. f6. Okay, oh, right, yeah. Okay, so the purpose of this, was to unleash this bishop, right? On the long diagonal, this bishop has just been sitting there lurking, minding its own business, you know, reading his hymnal or whatever, his psalter, and then suddenly a tiny little pawn move, and we're threatening mate in 1. Okay, so that's what Yorkie is seeing. I didn't get that at first, now I see it. Alright, so this is just putting paid to that idea. Again, we're just hanging this pawn out to dry. Here's a little tempter there. Pawn takes. Okay, we've got rook takes with tempo. Might be good. If we take here, and then if we throw in a check, a rook takes, and then queen takes with check, king can go there or there. Not sure. Let's see it. Okay, rook takes, kind of obvious, materials equal again. Queen finally takes the dangled pawn. Now, I don't see how this works. Takes here, takes check, king to there or there. Queen takes another pawn. it's no compensation. Yeah, doubling up the rooks first. That does make sense. Okay, pawn fork. Knight takes looks like the cheapest way out, because then if pawn takes, queen takes, check, yeah? Knight takes, pawn takes, and check. Okay, so we've given up a knight for 2 pawns, but those 2 pawns are quite important because they are defending the king. They were helping to defend the king. However, we still have 2 rooks which can work like bricks together. We've got a queen that can be very much part of the defense, even though she's miles away. And we've got a rubbish bishop in the corner. So right now, you know, we're not going to mourn the loss of that knight. Okay, but king ducks out the way. And how on earth do we come in here? Is it going to be rook to d2, try and trade off and just do a classic kind of ladder mate on the first 2 ranks? Yes. Can't capture. Ooh. Oh, I like that. I like that. I mean, it's just basic stuff. Lining up all your big guns, right, on one thing. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to outgun you and, you know, clash. And we win. Okay. Oh, also notice, yes, the queen is defending this. Now, we can take there, but it leaves this undefended. So what happens now? Takes. If rook takes, queen can't take, because queen's also defending. This is defended twice, attacked twice. What do we do from here? Go on then, Yorkie. Drops the queen down, trying to trade queens. Are you quite mad, sir? Opponent's a piece up for a pawn, and you want to trade queens? What? Bishop attacks rook. Rook dodges, attacks bishop, and x-rays pawn. So bishop has to come to here or here. Probably here, where it isn't undefended by the pawn. Okay, good. Yorkie's down to 10 seconds. Okay. This is getting real, guys. Right, white declines the trade of rooks and has ideas of coming in here, but that's not going to work right now, and also the king does have an escape, so take... Oh! Hangs a rook! Oh no! Bang! 7 seconds. Bang! Line up the rooks, very sensible. 6 seconds. Pawn moves. Attack the bishop, nice. Moves. Push forward. Push forward with the rook. Okay, takes ideas away from the king. White has 36 seconds left. Black has only 5. 5.0. The clock is ticking. Attacky thing, pushy thing, attacky thing, pushy thing. Okay, this looks quite good actually for black. 4.3. King moves. 4.2. We've traded rooks. And now we have to push the pawn, eh? Yeah, of course we push the pawn. Bishop must defend this square, so it has to go there. Okay, queen takes, 3 seconds to go. White has 24. Okay, we're attacking this pawn, it is defended. King moves, f7, yeah? Okay, attacking these 2 pawns. Both cannot be saved. King moves, take a pawn. 3.2 seconds. Lord, 3.1 seconds. Okay, white also has this passed pawn, but the king now cannot advance through this force field provided by the rook. So how on earth is this pawn going to get there? Are we going to send our king all the way across now? Do we just start pre-moving a load of... No. Ah, we do a pawn push of our own. 2.6. We have to move the rook. Yes. And now... push pawn. Yes! Bishop takes. Oh my lord. 1.7 seconds on the clock. Okay, and now this is all just pre-moves, right? So you know what's happening here. 1.2 seconds! Ah! Okay. Now, I think we can simply ladder mate all the way, can't we? No, 2 seconds left. Oh, this is quicker. Right, so he wants to do this and force the king this way for a quicker ladder mate. 1.2 seconds against 2 seconds. And white runs out of time. Holy camole. That was, that was a roller coaster, wasn't it? Well, Yorkie chess, mate. Well done. And that's why you're 1500 blitz. I've never got to 1500 blitz. Yeah, because you have to think that quick on your feet and avoid making mistakes. But that was a really, really good game. Thanks for sharing, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.